Hey guys, Kyle here. So I figured I would, chit chat about Overwatch and my overall feelings and just maybe ramble or something and have some highlights in the background. I think that's the best way to describe it. I think we'll just ramble today. So who knows where this might go. I think we'll just talk into a microphone and have some clips play in the background. I haven't done that in a long time. So I think that's what my video will be today. I'm trying to just think of topics to talk about because I'm not really uploading much on YouTube anymore. I've slowed way down. I guess you could say we've pretty much ran out of ideas to talk about and post and stuff, but we do stream occasionally, and I've slowed down so much. Um, I think I gave it my best shot for like 3 years, and we hit that 3 year marker about 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. And I think now would be a good time to make like a little rambling video of streaming and whatnot and what it does and how I feel about it and whatnot and Overwatch State and whatnot. We'll just do a full ramble. So first things first, I think I'll just start with whatever's on the top of my head. So I have to say, I still enjoy streaming. It's not that I don't. Um, it's more of time is moving so fast because those that are even still around, we started on console, right? I originally started Overwatch on console, and no idea how big of a game Overwatch would have gotten. I honestly, I mean, it got Game of the Year, right? So obviously the game was a big deal. So, but I had no idea that there was a competitive esports thing for that game. I wish there was one on console, but there wasn't. But it is what it is. But I remember Overwatch being so good and fun that right around 2018, I want to say, is when I went and got a job because I wanted to get a PC for this game. I saw the Overwatch League, and I had all my favorite pros and stuff. Shock. They had IDQD Sinatra. That they had an insane lineup, and I remember being really inspired. I was like so inspired, to go get that PC. And I remember working, those. Oh man, sometimes I would be playing Overwatch all night and then go to work that day, and just oh my god, it was miserable. Right? It was absolutely miserable. That I remember just those hours and just doing that, and then we'd stream on console or whatever, and I was really really passionate about that that whole thing where it was like, man, can I really test my Reaper, my Hog on console against these PC players? I was so excited. It was like a breath of fresh air. I had something to do. I had something to prove, and I was super passionate about it. And I remember my friend Eric, his name's Crimson Six, back in the day. He told me, he's like, man, you should totally stream, and I was like, why not? I'll give it a shot. So, I did a few streams on console, and I liked it. I liked it. There was absolutely nobody watching, but like one or two people. You got to remember it was on console at the time, and I remember I uploaded a video, a highlight that I popped off really hard. I had like, I don't know, 21,000 damage or something on Hog, and I had like 50 hooks in a single game. It was absurd, right? And the video blew up like really hard, and that's when I made realize there was a turning point, right? I realized there was a turning point here. I was like, okay, that video blew up. It had like 20,000 views. I don't know anything about marketing. I still don't know anything about marketing. I have no idea how to run any of that. I didn't go to college. I barely finished high school. It was rough. Looking back on stuff like that, it was brutally nasty and hard. And people are monsters, but that's another story for another day. But I don't know anything about business. I don't know any of that stuff. Nobody taught me any of these things. Nobody cared to teach you any of these things. You don't know anything. And we're in 2024 now, and I realize that everything's a business, quite literally. So, if only we knew how to, maybe if I knew how to market things, maybe I had no idea because my knowledge from school was shitty teacher, didn't want to teach, Me being a lazy kid, just wanting to play games because that's all I was passionate about. I was the only thing I was interested in. It's the only thing I cared about. I didn't care about business or any of that shit. I didn't care about any of that stuff. So I think if I was a better marketer, maybe my videos would have blew up harder. But we ended up just getting a gaming PC. I ended up just saving up my money up. I remember I worked like, I don't know, 6 months. I got let go because COVID happened. But I'm a diabetic and stuff like that. I've been sick for like my whole life. So I remember I got let go of my last job back. I think it was December of 2019. They just let me go. I think randomly. I can't remember the reason, to be honest. But COVID happened or whatever, blah blah blah, and me and my friend Toy Sailboat, we grinded, right, because we were still super passionate about Overwatch. Like we were really diehard passionate about that game. So we really sit down and we grinded. I remember I was like, I want to prove myself. I want to prove that I am the best Reaper player in the world. I wanted to prove that I was the best Roadhog player in the world. I wanted to prove those things, and the only way to prove those things is to get good, right? Get good. So me and my friend Toy, we practiced and practiced. I practiced so hard. I remember my left hand, your WASD on your keyboard, my left hand was, I thought I got carpal tunnel on my left hand because it hurt so bad. And I had to figure out how to play on an Xbox controller sideways for like a year because the pain was excruciating. And that was the only way I could play. And I had to practice, that way. So I just grinded Kovacs for like, I don't know, 700 hours. I think it was almost 1,000 hours we put in a year. I just sat down and I would play Kovacs for like 4 hours a day. And then I would play Overwatch for like 4 or 5 hours a day. And eventually, we just got confident. Me and my really good friend Toy Selva, we just got confident. And we just kept grinding and grinding. And it ended up taking me literally 2 years to One Trick Reaper to like GM. And keep in mind, like, not knowing how to aim, coming straight from console, and getting that huge ego reset was something else. I mean, not many people are willing to do that, right? I don't think I know anybody willing to do something like that, to hit that fucking reset button like that. So, you know, I definitely got an ego check. I definitely, I definitely got checked good, dude. I got my ass kicked, dude. Jeez, I got my butt kicked. I got my butt kicked so goddamn many times. I mean, it was hard. But my PC ended up actually blowing up at some point, and I remember being like, "Oh snap!" Yeah, don't buy a pre-built, guys. Don't buy a pre-built iBuy power. Just avoid that. That thing blew up, and then we ended up getting another rig later down the road, like a month later, and that thing lasted us till quite recently. I only wanted to upgrade because I was tired of my CPU bottlenecking with my GPU, and motherboard was like getting pretty old. But we ripped that thing pretty good. And then time goes on, and we ended up one tricking Hog to GM, and I was pretty proud of that. That was the moment of truth when I finally realized, okay, I proved myself. Now, can we get top 500? And then that was the next difficult thing to do. And we got pretty lucky. I remember I had like a 13 game wins, 12. I think it was a 12 game win streak on stream, and we finally one tricked Hog and Reaper to top 500 for the first time, and I was super proud of that. That was so much hard work, and we streamed it all. Like we streamed everything, and I was so proud of myself for that. I was celebrating and hooping and hollering. It was a big deal, and I finally did what I wanted to do. And the sad truth is the game pretty much was dead though. Like, where would you go from there? You did what you wanted to do, right? What do you do now? There's no tournaments for this game because it's Overwatch League. So that reality kind of kicked in, and thank God I was streaming, and I'm so thankful for Jim and Al and John and all these great people, graphics that supported me along the way, and all you guys. I'm so happy about that. And then if we go back a tad, I think it was like 2020. So this is like before that. We actually had an opportunity to play Overwatch for a college team, but COVID happened, and that ruined basically every chance I had at going to school, back to college and stuff for Overwatch. COVID ruined a lot of things, man. Some people lost their lives and stuff. I think I could have had a really big career, but man, dude, what could have been? So going back through the story, go back to fast forward. We pretty much were just waiting on Overwatch 2. At that point, I was just playing with some friends and stuff, and I felt like I was pretty much confident of being, the best Hog and Reaper at that point. I feel like I was pretty much unmatched for a little while. I knew about Six and all these other guys, but nobody one tricked him. Right? It was more like solely one trick these characters. People would always flex and get off their character, but how many people can say they one tricked Hog and Reaper to the highest rank? Not very many. I think it was just me and Junie that could one trick Reaper. There was almost like nobody doing it, and I remember meeting a former Reaper one trick. His name was Never Sleep, and he did like a really good breakdown. And I remember studying that a lot, and I remember putting that in my playstyle and studying that for about a year. I remember like really being dedicated to this, like super hardcore dedication, super nerdy, stupid, but it was something I was really into. And I studied that playstyle. I wanted to master that playstyle, and I think we did to an extent. I think we did a pretty darn good job because we managed to figure it out. We figured out how to play that character perfectly for a while there. Overwatch 2 is just right down the road, and I remember it being a big deal. And we were I remember when it came out, we were like the first Reaper one trick to one trick him to GM. Like nobody else streamed it. Nobody did. And those videos did extremely well, and I'm so happy for it. But it just comes down to reality is where I just don't know how to market. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. You do everything yourself. You make your videos yourself. You do this yourself. You do that yourself. You stream yourself. You do everything yourself. You have no one helping you. You know, you have people that donate and support you, but people don't know this. But you need editors to do everything for you. You need thumbnail editors. You need all this, and someone has to get paid. At the end of the day, someone has to get paid, and that's what becomes so hard. Is you realize, well, rent costs money, this costs money, food costs money, everything costs money, and someone has to be paid. And I don't have any business skills. So I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I should be doing this. I don't know how I'm doing this. I'm just chugging along and trying to do the best I can. And that hurts realizing that, because I feel like I really could have had something and I just had no business skills or anything. And I'm kind of sad in that aspect because I just have no idea how to market anything. But another side of me is like, well, do I want to be like everybody else, or do I want to be unique? You know, and I think that becomes the hard part, because when you sell out and become this business person, a greedy person, you don't even make your videos anymore, and it's not you. So that becomes that difficult part where, yeah, I would love to have consistency of you know 200 subs a month, 250 subs a month. That would help greatly. That would literally pay rent almost. But I mean, shit, that's tough. How are you gonna do that? It always just comes down to that, where I have no idea how I do that or how to do that. And I'm kind of in that rough spot where, damn, that's tough. Basically, to sum up this story at the end of the day is, I was just some guy that was passionate about Overwatch, and it ended up becoming an extremely popular game. And I tried to make a career out of it. Me, myself, and I. I tried to do it all. I tried everything I could to make it happen. I even tried exploring retro gaming and just, let's play, do stuff like that. And I even tried to do that. I even played retro stuff I grew up. I tried it all. I gave it my best shot. I gave it 3 years. I did the best I could. And everyone that supported me, thank you so much. It means the world to me. And, I don't know where I'm going from here. I'm going to try to keep streaming. I'm going to try. Will I, explode and become popular? Probably not. But, it's always up in the air. You never know. You just never know. But I appreciate you guys listening to the ramblings. I think that was pretty much the story. I met a lot of amazingly fun people that I had a lot of great memories with, a lot of late nights with, lots of laughs. And that's how Overwatch ruined my 20s. I ruined my 20s playing this game. My 20s were completely destroyed by this game. Overwatch came out when I was 22, and now we wake up and it's been 8 years now. And holy crap, what a run! What a run! Maybe Overwatch Classic will come out one day. Maybe this stupid dev team that made Overwatch that shot themselves in the foot. Maybe they'll finally make a decision and release Overwatch Classic, and it'll be Game of the Year all over again, and we can all get addicted together. It can ruin my 30s. Oh man, that's deep. But shoot, man, I had a great run. I think we all did. And I think this rambling's kind of going a bit too far, but I hope you guys enjoyed. And damn, what a run, man. Cheers. Thanks for watching, guys.